This is Renegade Station, to a Genova remix, a short story beyond the world's over, where several children lay huddled together in the eastern wing of a labyrinth of ducts and ventilation systems under a frozen citadel that lay high above a spire of stone and ice, thousands of feet above the wasteland below. And despite several layers of clothing made generations ago for soldiers who fought in the First, the Third World, the Last War, wherein magic dispersed humanity into a slumber that few could wake from, they remained cold and had a visible breath in every moment. Each had thick layers of green or gray, and a scarf about their neck, and a hat or some sort of cap, toque or beanie upon their heads. All of them had goggles of some sort, or glasses, to shade their eyes from the shards of ice that lingered about the air. And despite their jumpers, tunics, the trench coats, the hoods, the cloaks, and everything that lay about them, the many layers of socks filled with paprika to keep themselves warm, coated with the leather boots that were so often holy and worn, they were cold. For as long as anyone could remember, the children had been sent out from the frozen citadel high above the tundra, upon a spire of stone and ice. There the fortress had been since the world had changed and the immortals had come out from their exile, back into the sunlight of day. They sent them out, all the children, armed with an escort, to a crack in the ice, hundreds of feet out, maybe even a kilometer, a furlong off, to find a cavern of shards wherein the crystals were filled with liquid light that fueled the village outside the stronghold atop the spire, and it lit the whole place with light. The 7 children who now lay huddled amidst the frozen, cold air had escaped after hearing the elder's tale, and who had fallen silent from the dream of a green land beyond the icy passage at the end of the vale. The entrance lay deep in the mountains, beyond the brickstone mason bridge at the end of the village, wherein the cobblestone single lane passed by the fortress, and beyond the statues of gargoyles at the end was a path that led over the bridge, out of the gates, and down into the vale beyond, where the mines lay, possibly, and forever locked. Of the 7, only 2 of the children are of the age of 12, and the rest were young wee squirts that were swept up in the emotion of the escape, when the guards had discovered them in the alley on their way to the bridge, diverting them into the sewers where they found the abandoned station. The squat, overly long-armed pig men hid their faces behind masks. Some you would call were goblins, or trolls, or orcs. They gave chase to them with shards, with blades and spears and spikes and arrows. They would relay the children if it weren't dark. Through the darkness of the village streets, for the blue lights had been shut off in the late hours so the children could not be seen, the guards gave chase about the spire in the silent falls of the children, for the goblins, they wore no shoes. When the group was nearing the bridge, of the oldest tried to escape. They realized they wouldn't make it past the guards, so close are the heroes. Contra, the eldest, stole himself against the wall of the house close by, and in the shadow waited for the guards pass by. As Sabine, his friend, his closest kin, she was the beautiful angel of the village, ran onwards with the children. He only just noticed the silent soldier had passed, for the movement of his shadow was a shade, and the quick flash of the first guard crumpled to his knees as the shard of a crystal lodged in his neck, and the other turned to face the assailant, sending forth his spear as he spun, nearly decapitating Contra, who just narrowly avoided the blade, falling back on his heels and stumbling just a moment off pace. He wouldn't rise fast enough, or would he? He rose to his feet in a crouch, and a snaky lunged at the exposed chest of the guard, who had swung overly and missed, and with luck, or if not by fate, silence reigned as he realized what had happened. It set in that the guard had just taken his last breath. The lives of two sentient beings were now meandering aimlessly in the shadow world beyond that of the living. Rising from the top of the dead man's chest, Contra made his way through the darkness of the city streets to join the others. Under the last arch at the end of the village, where the gargoyles sat waiting and watching, with nothing but more than stone works to say, and the beauty of the mason work that had been crafted long ago, on some fateful day. They couldn't leave, for they would be found out and chased. So they ducked themselves into the ventilation maze below the town, and the forge works were below them still when they found the abandoned station. And they lay themselves down to rest, while the eldest two had discovered something had gone seriously awry with their plan. And there was nothing they could do but take the children back and hope no one ever mentioned it again. And the two guards had just disappeared. They would clean up the mess. Or is that how it had to happen? Though it had gone seriously awry, but they still escaped through the secret of the mines. This has been an awkward reading of a short story, Renegade Station. I hope you enjoyed. There'll be many more to come. Have a great day. Bye.